Hi everyone and welcome to Season 2 Episode 1 of PSG Pain Purge with me, the United City FM. Loads to get through today. Last season we went out in the Champions League in the quarterfinals. Remember, that's the only thing that we're focusing on in this particular series is the Champions League. This season I've spent nearly £700 million on new players. We've already drawn our Champions League group stage and today we also get to play the first of the matches. So let's get into it. So, welcome back to PSG everyone. It's great to have you with me. If you're new, let me know in the comments below. If you're new, just put I'm new or hi or something. Always interested to see if anybody new is finding my content. For those that are usual around here and haven't subscribed yet, do that for me. Click the subscription button and the notification bell and then you'll get up to date with all of the videos that I release. Click the like button on this particular episode. That gets us all going properly in the good direction for the channel. If you could do all those at the beginning of this episode, that would be amazing for me. That helps me grow the channel, so thank you very much for doing that. In terms of PSG, there is loads to get through today, loads of transfers. We've got a group decided for our Champions League group stage, and we get to play, a spoiler, we get to play Salzburg. There we are. We can see a couple of those teams, so let's immediately just go in and have a look at the group. We've got Midtjylland from Denmark. We've got Salzburg from Austria, and then we've got Ajax from Holland. Those are the three in our group. I think it's a pretty easy group compared to some that we could have had, so I'm fairly happy with that, to be honest. I think we can get out of that no problems. So let's go and check in on all of the stuff that we did in the summer transfer window. So, loads of players left the club. I think about like 8 of them or something in the end. I think something like that anyway. And we bought a load in as well. Nearly £700 million spent on the Never Never, to be honest. Lots of instalment payments and all sorts of other bits and pieces. But PSG can cope with it, so it's fine. And we did an awful lot of business. It's going to take quite a while to go through all of them, but a lot of these players you're going to already know. So, for example, Pereira is one that we had on loan last season. He comes into the club permanently in that central midfield role, but he has been usurped by lots of other good central midfield players. Might struggle to get too much of a game time this season. We have a new striking option. Icardi is still at the club and will be the #1 for this season, but Odsonne Edouard comes in from Celtic as a very good backup. I've bought a few French players in where I can just to up that part of our squad a little bit, and I think Edouard is a very, very good option off the bench or rotating with Icardi here and there as well. Central defence, again French, but a very, very good central defender in Laporte from Man City. Lots of these players cost me loads and loads of money, but as I say, lots of instalments, etc. And he's going to come in and partner Marquinhos this season. A couple of our central defenders left over the summer. So Laporte is in the club, which is fantastic. Another French influence in Paul Pogba. Don't really need to talk about Paul Pogba, do we? In the game, though, I think he's really very, very good. And will certainly help us secure that midfield area a little bit. But there are more central midfield options around as well, so that's encouraging. But Pogba is in. The next one is another central midfielder. He's going to play the attacking midfield role that we had a bit of a gap in last season, and it's Luis Alberto. We bought him in, where did we get him from? Oh, Lazio, that's right. Bought him in from Lazio. Exceptionally good creative attacking midfield player. So he comes into our starting lineup and fills that role. Trent Alexander-Arnold, right-sided defender, a right fullback, one of the best in the game, if not the best in the game. And he comes in for a hefty, hefty fee, but all of these are hefty fees, and he is phenomenal. So I'm hoping for big things from him this season. New goalkeeper. Navas we let go, too old really for my liking, 32, 33, whatever. Couldn't base my side around him for the next couple of seasons, so I wanted a new one, but I wanted one at the peak of his powers, and Edison from Man City was the option that we went for. We had a look at Alisson as well. That deal didn't quite work out. Edison was the one that did, and so he comes into the club, but what a really good goalkeeper he is. Left fullback, we've got a new left-sided fullback. Burnett left the club to go in the other direction. Did he go to Man United or something? Possibly, can't remember. Anyway, he left. Benjamin Mendy came in. Where did we get Benjamin Mendy from? Yeah, Man City. So did Burnett go to Man City? Maybe. But anyway, Mendy comes into the club, and he's a very, very good left-sided defender, and also, again, is French. And there is a pattern in there trying to find the better French players to put into this squad. Next summer, if we should need it to go into a third season, we can sprinkle a few more foreigners in there, maybe. But for now, I really wanted to get a bit more of a French feel about the side. Curtis Jones was on loan for the second half of last season for us on that left wing, supporting Neymar whenever he's not able to play. And again, we've brought him in. We didn't really need to go and find another option on the left wing. I was happy with him. And I think for a loan fee for this particular season, he's going to do great. Next season, who knows? Should we need another one? We can find another one. Camavinga, another French young midfield player. This is the guy that's going to put Pereira under a lot of pressure to even get in the squad, let alone the team. So he comes into the squad, which is fantastic. 18 years old, full of potential. And again, if we need him for next season, should we have to go to a third season, he's going to be even better then and force his way into the first team maybe. But at the moment, the first team player that goes alongside Paul Pogba is Adrien Rabiot. And we bought him in, was it Juve? Yeah, Zebra in the game, Juve we bought him in from, and he goes into our starting 11 as the deep-lying playmaker of the group. Lots of potential in here for a good partnership with Paul Pogba, and again French, lots of good French influence as well as a sprinkling of some other nationalities as well. All in all, I'm really, really happy with what we managed to achieve over the summer. It's going to take them a while to gel together in the league. I don't think it'll be too difficult. And we've been given a relatively good Champions League draw. So I think the settling in process will be okay. But even so, it might just take a while for them to gel properly. But if they do, this set of players could be quite a force to be reckoned with. So how are we going to try and get the best out of this group of players? Well, we're going to play the 4-2-3-1. We're going to play the vertical tiki-taka. I want to keep the ball and frustrate opponents and try and dictate the style of play as much as we can on the opposition and see if that can gain us some traction and move us forward in the right direction. Got a few injuries for today's match. Unfortunately, our fullbacks are dropping like flies. We've got some big injuries. 2 to 3 months out for Mbabu, and Kurzawa is out for 3 weeks, if not a little bit less than that. Kimpembe is one of our central defensive options. He's out for a small amount of time. Areola comes in from the reserve ranks. He was away on loan last season, but is a very good backup goalkeeper at this level, really. And also what we've managed to do with all of the players that we brought in, and also bringing in Pembele from the youngsters as well at the age of 19, that redresses the balance in our Champions League squad and brings in the homegrown talent as well. So we've been able to register everybody that we want to for the Champions League squad, which is fantastic this time round. So it's all been balanced out properly. I've tried to do the best I can to get as good a squad together whilst fulfilling all the registration criteria, and I think we've just about managed it. The one player I'm trying to get out of the club is Paredes, just because there's no spot for him particularly. I tried all summer long, but nobody bit, unfortunately, and so he remains at the club at the moment, but hopefully it won't be too long until he's gone. Other than that, everybody else is who I want them to be for this season. So in the custom tiki-taka, vertical tiki-taka stuff, we're in the positive mentality. I'll let you have a look at the instructions, but they're not set in stone and they could well change at any point along the way. So these are the instructions for in transition, and then we got out of possession as well. So that's how we're going to be playing this season at the beginning, at least, unless we decide that we need to change it. And for today's match against Salzburg, in the first of our group matches in the Champions League, we have Ederson in goal, Alexander-Arnold at right back, Mendy at left back, Marquinhos and Laporte in central defence, Rabiot, Pogba and Alberto in central midfield, Mbappe on the right, Neymar on the left and Icardi up top, with a bench of Pembele, Dagba, Camavinga, Verratti, Sarabia, Jones and Edouard. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So I've just suggested to them ultimately go out there, relax, play your natural game and the result will come. And I think it will do pretty decent. Salzburg coming in with a very defensive 4-4-2, 2 defensive midfielders and 2 central midfield line wingers. So they've come very, very defensive. And that should suit us because that will give us possession of the ball and lots of opportunity to potentially attack in numbers and get potentially a goal early on and settle the game down a little bit. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, they have gone very defensive, as you'd kind of expect. We're at home, so that gives us the advantage of home performance as well. But it is Salzburg on the ball, but then Alexander-Arnold nicks in, Marquinhos takes over, gets the ball out, nice short sharp passes to get us out of trouble, and it's still Alexander-Arnold down the right hand side, cuts in though, over the top to Neymar, and there, early on, 7 minutes, is the vertical tiki-taka in good motion already, working primarily down that right hand side, until Alexander-Arnold at this point cuts in more centrally, spots the run of Neymar just there, puts it over the top into his path. Neymar makes no mistake and we go 1-up after 7 minutes, and our Champions League group stage has got off to a very, very good start. As you'd kind of expect, I do expect to win pretty much all of these games, if I'm honest. I mean, Ajax will prove a bit of a tricky one, I suspect, but should still succumb to us if we play our natural game. So we'll have to wait and see on how all of that goes. But Salzburg on the ball in their defensive unit. Can we work hard to win the ball back? That's the other aspect about this team that I hope will be good this season, is some good work ethic, especially in the wide areas, supporting the fullbacks. So we'll have to see, but there was a loose ball there, and so they have to go long. They have to just about manage it, but then the loose ball does come back to bite them, and it's Mendy that wins it in the left fullback position. Neymar takes over, drives all the way from left to right, diagonally across the pitch to the edge of the box, and then gets fouled on the edge of the box. And there's a yellow card there already for the player who fouled him. Is he going to get a second one here? I think the ref is potentially looking for the penalty, but I don't think it is. I think it was like quite a way outside the box, if I'm totally honest. I don't expect this to come back in our favour necessarily, but we'll have to wait and see. Here he comes, makes his decision. No penalty at all. I don't think he's even going to get a card, is he, on that occasion? But anyway, Salzburg with the highlight again down this right-hand side. Again, it's a chance for us to soak up the pressure and then counter-attack very quickly using the tiki-taka, the vertical tiki-taka. But they worked very nicely down their left-hand side. They get the cross into the top of the box, and actually they get a goal from it. They swivel very nicely. Adeyemi on the top of the penalty box turns on a dime and then powers the shot past Ederson. Couldn't even remember who the new goalkeeper was then, and we just got caught a little bit on our heels there. He cuts across the defence, gets into a bit of space and then powers the shot at goal, and they go 1-1 at half an hour. And again, it proves that just at the moment this team need to bed in a little bit and play together a little bit more than they have. They've had 2 or 3 games, that's all. And a lot of the players have been very busy over the summer in the European Championships, I think, and also the Olympics. So some of them are absolutely knackered when they came back to the league season anyway. So there's some issues to sort out there. 1-1 at half-time, not good enough, really. So we're going to thrash the arms about, tell them that we're not pleased with it, put them straight back out there, and then go into the shouts and fire them up and just see if we can get them going. And we're going to go from positive to attacking quite early on and see if if we can unlock this Salzburg defence again and try and get a second goal that's going to push us in the right direction for this particular game. But the game is drifting a lot. 67 minutes with no highlights in this second half. Oh, there's a highlight just starting here for Salzburg, unfortunately. That makes me slightly nervous now. They've dropped it back a little bit. We've got most people behind the ball, so the defence should be quite strong. And there is the tap in by the foot in by Rabiot, as I'm getting blinded by the window by my right hand side, just at the wrong point. The sun comes out and I can't see that we had a shot at goal, and then it goes narrowly wide. And for a corner kick, and then it's Luis Alberto that picks up the loose ball on the edge of the box, drives down the right hand side, gets a chance to put the cross in but doesn't manage it. It gets blocked, but for another corner kick. So we're putting on the pressure, but the pressure hasn't told just yet. Neymar crosses in, Icardi under the ball, and it drifts all the way over to the far side. And at 72 minutes, time to make some personnel changes. We've got Mbappe, who's a little bit jaded from the summer. He's one of those guys, as I say, so we've played him as much as we can today. Icardi, 6.3 average rating. Not good enough with Edouard on the bench, who's already scored a couple of goals when he's come on this season so far. So he comes in, and then Rabiot in that central midfield area will put Camavinga in that role instead, and we'll allow him to play for the last few minutes of the game. And we'll go back out there and see whether we can get anything from it. We're in the attacking mentality already, so we're going to the shouts and just demand more from them for the last 15 minutes of the game or so. And it's Mendy with a long, not a long throw, a simple throw to Camavinga, onto Alberto, to Neymar on the top of the box. Now, if there wasn't an offside there, Sarabia did really well on the end at the finish, but there might have been an offside. We'll just have to check it. But Camavinga sets the ball in motion, doesn't he? There's a goal review. I thought there might be. I have some slight... yeah, I had my doubts over that one, and it has been disallowed. Good move down the right-hand side. Alberto eventually getting it into Neymar, and there's the offside decision. Sarabia just strayed offside, and that's why he was able to put the ball in the back of the net so easily. And at 1-1, we're still sitting on 1 point rather than 3 in the start of our Champions League group stage at home. It's not good enough, but Alberto could change that here. He loses possession though in the left fullback area for Salzburg, but then they clear it straight to Pogba, who gives the ball away, but then we get it back again. Scrappy play so far. Laporte settles the play down. There's Camavinga on the ball. He puts it into no man's land again. And we lose possession. They go, fortunately, Salzburg do not want this ball. They keep booting it long, straight back to us. And eventually we settle to play down the left-hand side. Edouard drops in to get involved in the play. And again, we lose out. And this time, Salzburg have got plenty of space to work into. And they do so very nicely at the top of the box. They've worked it all the way from theirs. There's the ball through. And if there is no offside, we have absolutely been sucker punched in the 83rd minute of this game. And I've got to just make sure that that was given before I make any changes. But if it was given, and it may well be, we have to do something fairly drastic here in the last few minutes of the game. I think that was a perfectly good goal. So I'm not even waiting for the end of the highlight. We're going to have to make a change here. So we're going to go... what we're going to go and do here, we're going to go with the Gegenpress, with the very attacking mindset. And that should help us to really pin them in for the last few minutes and pile the pressure on them potentially. We'll have to wait and see though. 85 minutes gone. It looks like we're going to lose our first game. Having started so well in the first half, it has completely turned on its head. And this group of players need to be in training tomorrow, because we need to work on our team bonding and our team shape a little bit, and working through some of the kinks that we have, because we lose our first game in the Champions League season, and I am very, very unimpressed by it. So we're going to throw the bottle at them and we'll bring them into training. Don't care if it demotivates them. They're playing for PSG and I expect big things from them. I'm not going to overanalyze the performance because we've done loads of stuff with transfer dealings and other bits and pieces, but we were absolutely dumped on by them in the second half specifically, and we do sit bottom of the table after one game for us so far. And it's really not good enough, is it? Champions League group, disappointing collapse. Mbappe's injured for 2 to 3 weeks, so it gets worse. We made a debut for Camavinga, so that's good. Fitness concerns over Neymar and Laporte. Again, this is what I'm saying. They were all so exhausted by the summer stuff that they went through internationally. But yeah, welcome back to PSG, everybody. It's going very well, isn't it? So here we are back in the schedule page, and what we tend to do for this particular series, we play the first of the group games on the episodes and we play the last of the group games on the episodes, and whichever team we haven't played in those 2 matches, we find a game against them to play in the middle of the group's stage. So Midtjylland is up next for us. In mid-October, we're going to play them away from home. Hopefully by then we'll have played Ajax. We need to win against them really and get our group stage off to a better start than we have already. And then we need to be pretty flawless through the second half of it specifically, don't we, really? So we're going to have to be on our mettle to do that. But we can, of course we can. We've got the players to do it as they begin to settle together. Hopefully this time, this team will get up and running properly. In the league, we've already had a defeat. Against Bordeaux, we played a rotated 11. We also lost the Trophy des Champions against them as well. So it hasn't been great against Bordeaux this season so far. So a little bit of a stuttering start. But after so many changes in the summer, it doesn't matter how good the players are you bring in. They just need time to settle and bed in together as a team. So lots of that still to come. I hope we're going to enjoy this season, though, once we get up and running. I think this squad of players is a very decent one and can really push for the Champions League if we can get out of our group stage that in theory was supposed to be quite an easy one. Anyway, there we go. That's going to do it for today. No point dwelling on what was past. We now have to move forward. So lots of good games to come. Hopefully you'll join me next episode for the game against Midtjylland away from home to see if we can continue to get better results in the Champions League. Until then, though, thank you for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. I hope we're going to have a lot of fun together in this season. But subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and join my United City community. The more the merrier. Lots of ways to do that, of course. There's Discord and Twitter. You can support my channel through Patreon and my merchandise store. All of the links to those are in the description below. Click that like button on this episode, as I said earlier. Really helps with the channel to grow, be seen by lots of other people. Also lets me know that you're invested in the content, which is great. Until next time, though, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.